I'm Juliet and welcome to February's online family craft activity Doodle Bells, brought to you by St Asaph Cathedral. You can see here, these are the bells of St Asaph Cathedral in a photograph. Usually you don't get a chance to see these bells, they're hidden away in the bell tower, but you can usually hear them if you are from St Asaph. We are going to create our own doodle bells, a set of 4 linking bells with a method called Zentangles, which I will describe to you in a little bit. So the first thing you need, everything you need to find is at home, or we have provided a template online for you. So if you have a printer at home, please print out the bell template onto A4 paper. Don't worry if you don't, if you could just find a piece of A4 paper, white paper is what we need, and then fold it in half to begin, and then fold it in half again. So if you have the template, you can see the bell is already on there. If you have a plain piece of paper, then obviously just with a normal pencil, just draw out a bell shape, making sure that it starts and ends at the top and the bottom of those folds. You will then need a sharp pair of scissors, so ask a helper to cut out the bell shape for you. Just be careful you don't trim off along the fold. You want a little bit that's still joined. So I've cut one side, and then you can see if you carefully follow the line, there's the second one. And then, as you can see, when you unfold, you have 4 bell shapes that are symmetrical, all joined together, that we're going to fill in. And you will end up with something that looks a little bit like this, using just black and white, keeping the white of the paper, and then you need to find some sort of black pen at home. So you might have a felt tip pen, maybe a rollerball or a fine liner, or a biro would just do the trick as well. You also need a normal pencil, and then we're ready to start our doodle bells. So what we need to do is, here's one that's semi-finished, is with your pencil on each one of the bells, we're going to draw what we call a string. Now Zentangles are a way of drawing that promotes mindfulness and well-being and helps boost our creativity. They were developed on from doodles. I'm sure we've all doodled a little bit before when we've been a little bit bored by the telephone. Maybe if you're listening to a conversation, you do little patterns. Well, these are a little bit more detailed, a little bit more thoughtful. So what we do is, with our pencil, we create what we call a string. Now that means once you put your pencil on the page, either with straight lines or curves, we're just going to go around the bell to divide it up into some simple sections. Now you could go with lots and lots of sections, but the more sections you do, we're going to put a different pattern in each one. Obviously the more complicated it would get. So I would say keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've already got 5 sections in that one already. And then if you did maybe straighter lines. That's all I mean by a string. It's just a little long line with your pencil to divide up your bells. Online you will also find Zentangle pattern ideas, so either you could look at those on your computer or your tablet, iPhone, or print them out so that you have a few ideas. But just think of simple repeated patterns. Now we tend to use just black and white, don't need to worry about colour then. So we can just focusing on what pattern we would like to put in each section. So it could be something as simple as dots, swirly lines, zigzags, something a bit more organic, a bit like a leaf or a flower pattern. So I'll just do a few here just to help you. So imagine we were going to do maybe zigzags in this one. So once you've chosen a pattern, stick to that repeated pattern in each section. So this one's going to be my zigzag section. And this is a slightly thicker pen. So again, because I've got a nice big section, it's working quite well to fill in the gap. I would leave some white as well. You can see in this one, I have coloured in quite a bit with black, so you can get really different tones of quite light to quite dark, depending on how much pen you put on. This one, I might do some swirls. And so on. So you can see you can do a line to divide up your section if that helps you to see where you need to fill in next, and so on. And so you carry on down. You can see this is a hand-drawn, slightly different bell shape, and I've used a finer pen. So again, every little section has a different repeated pattern, so you can keep it very simple or you can go quite complicated, and it's a really lovely family activity. You could do a bell each in your family, and then it's also very useful. You could use it as a bookmark or a page saver if you're reading a nice book. And please do send us any finished doodle bells that you do, and let us know what you think of Zentangle.